He was charismatic, athletic, and appeared to be on the verge of stardom. A name that many once believed could be the future of professional wrestling. This is the story of Sonny Siaki, his rise, his time in the ring, and the unexpected turn that ended his career. Born in 1974 in American Samoa, Sonny Siaki moved around quite a bit as he grew up. First, his family moved to Hawaii, then California, and then settled in Wilmington, North Carolina, where he became a standout football player in high school, even earning himself a scholarship to East Carolina University. After an injury forced him to stop playing football, he moved on to a new journey thanks to a friend of his. That journey was professional wrestling. In the late 1990s, Siaki pursued wrestling training at the WCW power plant. The power plant was one of the most intense training facilities in the business at the time, known for its grueling workouts and demanding trainers. Siaki's natural athleticism and impressive physique helped him stand out amongst his peers. He showed promise early on, displaying not just the physical prowess, but also an undeniable charisma that would later become his trademark. Siaki would make appearances on WCW programming such as Saturday Night, but ultimately left the company in March 2000 after being unhappy with how he was being used. But just because he left WCW, that wasn't the last you'd see of Siaki in the business. After spending time with Urban Wrestling Alliance and Turnbuckle Championship Wrestling in 2000 and 2001, Siaki looked for opportunities elsewhere. That opportunity came in 2002 with the formation of Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, or TNA. A new alternative to WWE, TNA quickly gained traction with its unique X division, which focused on high-flying, fast-paced action, and Siaki was a natural fit. With a cocky attitude and larger-than-life personality, Siaki quickly became a young standout within the company. Debuting as one-third of the group known as the Flying Elvises, Siaki eventually aligned himself with the faction called Sports Entertainment Extreme, which was led by Vince Russo. The faction aimed to blur the lines between reality and scripted entertainment in wrestling, with its goals of, quote, taking over TNA. Him joining the group made Siaki one of the most talked about up-and-comers in the entire company. Not long after joining the faction in December of 2002, Siaki cemented his place in TNA history by defeating Jerry Lynn to win the X Division Championship. This victory marked a turning point in his career, proving that he could be more than just a promising talent. His in-ring style combined power moves with agility, which set him apart from the typical X Division competitor. Despite his early success, Siaki's career in TNA wasn't without its struggles. As the company began to evolve, new faces emerged and the creative direction shifted. While he continued to be featured prominently, he never quite reached the main event scene that many believed he was destined for. After winning and losing the X Division title, Siaki eventually transitioned into the tag team division, forming alliances with stars like ECMO, also known as Umaga from WWE, and Apollo. It was during his time with Apollo that saw him face off against Lance Hoyt and Chris Candido in April 2005 at TNA's Lockdown pay-per-view event. And though they would win the match, the event is best remembered as being the last time we would see Chris Candido wrestle, as Candido suffered a broken tibia and fibula along with a dislocated ankle during the match. Requiring surgery to repair, Candido suffered complications leading to pneumonia. And unfortunately, Candido would pass away just 4 days after the match on April 28, 2005, at the young age of 33. As Siaki would attempt to move forward with his career, his role at TNA continued to diminish throughout 2005. By the end of the year, TNA was signing bigger names from WWE and the independent circuit, making Siaki's position in the company much less certain, leading to him declining to re-sign with TNA in December 2005. In late December 2005, Siaki saw what seemed like his big break. He signed a developmental contract with WWE. He was assigned to Deep South Wrestling, one of WWE's feeder promotions at the time. However, breaking into WWE's main roster was never easy. Siaki had spent years honing his craft both outside and within WWE's development system, hoping for a call up to the big stage. He worked on refining his in-ring style as well as adapting to WWE's expectations. While in Deep South, Siaki formed a tag team known as Urban Assault with Eric Perez, winning the Deep South Tag Team titles in late 2006. He then formed another tag team with Afa Anoa'i Jr., also known as Manu, where they teamed until Deep South Wrestling's closure in April 2007, and then again as the Samoan Fight Club in Florida Championship Wrestling. But despite his talent and efforts, Siaki never got the opportunity to make his mark on WWE television. And in September 2007, Siaki was ultimately released from his contract. Around the time of his release, Siaki went on record saying that there were personal issues at home and that he needed to focus on his family. Following his WWE release, Siaki continued wrestling on the independent circuit. However, in 2008, his career took a dramatic and unexpected turn. Not due to injury and not due to any creative frustrations, but because of something far more important. Siaki made the life-changing decision to retire from professional wrestling in order to donate a kidney to his brother, who was suffering from kidney failure. It was a decision that meant he could never wrestle again, as kidney donors, and donors of any kind really, are advised against participating in any high-impact sports. Siaki would wrestle his last match in January of 2009, losing to Marty Jannetty. Fast forward 6 months later, and on June 5th, 2009, he was in surgery at the Duke University Medical Center in Durham, North Carolina. The surgery, which was deemed a success, gave his brother Bernard a new lease on life. In the weeks following the surgery, Siaki told the Wilmington Star-News, quote, "If I had to do it all over again, I would not think twice. I'm just glad I was able to do this. I was the last hope. I'm glad this is over. Now he can enjoy his life again." His sacrifice was met with admiration from fans and wrestlers alike, and while his time in the ring was cut short, his actions outside of it made him a hero in a much different way. Although his wrestling career lasted just over a decade, Sonny Siaki left a lasting impact on the business. His charisma, talent, and dedication to the business made him one of the most promising talents of the early 2000s, and his selfless act of donating a kidney showed the world just the kind of person he truly is. Since leaving wrestling, Siaki has lived himself a quiet life away from the spotlight, and while he may not have reached the heights of a main eventer, his story remains one worth knowing. From the bright lights of TNA to the ultimate act of selflessness, Sonny Siaki's story is one of promise, sacrifice, and family. Thanks for watching.